If you are an Oregon PERS member, September is the one time each year when you can choose a different investment option for your individual account program or IAP. And this applies regardless of which PERS tier you're in, Tier 1, 2, OPSERP, and regardless of whether you're fully vested in your pension benefit yet. Once you become eligible for PERS membership, usually after the 6-month waiting period, contributions to your IAP begin, and those dollars are vested immediately. Hi there, Brenna Baucum, Collective Wealth Planning. Now, if you are watching this and you're thinking, I have no idea what an individual account program is, never fear. Take a quick detour to my IAP video. I'll link it up here where I talk through what that account is and how it works, and that will give you a good foundation for what we're about to cover here. So let's talk about what your investment choices actually are. By default, your IAP is invested in a target date fund based on your birth year. And that fund assumes a retirement age of roughly 65 and becomes gradually, over time, becomes more conservative the closer you get to that date. So for many people, that default may be perfectly appropriate. But your birth year, it doesn't tell PERS when you actually plan to retire, when you'll need this money, how much investment risk that you're comfortable with, or what other resources you may have at retirement, like your Social Security, your pension, your 457B plan, IRAs, other investments. That's where member choice comes in. So from September 1st through September 30th, eligible members can choose a different IAP target date fund, with the new election taking effect on January 1st of the following year. In general, the later dated funds stay more growth oriented for longer, and the earlier dated funds become more conservative sooner. And that doesn't mean that one is better than another. But if your pension and your Social Security are expected to cover most of your spending in retirement, and you don't expect to use your IAP money for many years, you might be comfortable taking more investment risk. If instead you plan to draw on your IAP sooner in retirement, or you're less comfortable with market swings, a more conservative allocation might make more sense. The key is, don't choose based on whichever fund has performed best recently. We are not chasing returns here. This is a longer term type of investment. Instead, I encourage you to ask yourself, when do I plan to retire? When will I actually need this money? How much of my income, my retirement income, is already going to be covered by things like my pension, Social Security, or other income sources? What other investments do I have? And how are those invested? And how much market volatility am I realistically comfortable with? So if your current fund still fits your answers, you might not need to change anything. And if it doesn't, September gives you that opportunity to make a different choice, hence the name, member choice. One important detail, once PERS receives a valid election for that year, you generally can't undo it. So it's something to think through carefully, just like all investment decisions. You can make that election through PERS online member service window during September. And if you want a bit more detail, of course, I wrote a lengthy blog, and you can find the link to the description, and that walks you through how your default fund is selected, how the IAP target date funds are invested, and when changing funds may or may not make sense. There are a lot of elements, you know this as a state employee, there are a lot of elements of your Oregon PERS benefit that you don't have a lot of control over, right? Your tier, the structure of your pension, or any deferred comp you might have available to you. This is one area where you have some agency, and you can make an investment choice that better reflects your own retirement plan. As always, if you want help thinking through how this fits into your broader financial picture, we are happy to be a resource. Thanks for watching.